Welcome to Unconventional Success, where we are rewriting the rules for female solopreneurs. I'm your host, Tiffany Dawson, a business and mindset coach. I help women who value freedom to earn the income they need to facilitate the lifestyle they want. I'll share interviews with successful female founders and my own tips on how to build a bulletproof mindset, make your own rules for your reality, and think strategically about your business so you can earn free-flowing revenue while spending quality time with your family. Remember, you can do life and business in a totally unconventional way and be wildly successful at the same time. The only person you need permission from is you. Hello and welcome to another episode of Unconventional Success. I have a very special guest on today who is the queen of habits for female entrepreneurs. Welcome, Anna Christiansen. How are you today?
Thank you so much, Tiffany. I'm doing very well. Thank you for inviting me to be a guest on your podcast. I'm so excited to talk with you today.
Oh, it's my absolute pleasure, and I've been very excited to have you on. I guess before we get started into our really juicy conversation today, because I've got so many questions for you about habits, especially being not the most planned and organized person myself, I'd love to dive deep into this topic. But before we get started, can you give us a quick introduction to you, how you got to where you are today, and who you help?
Of course. Well, my name is Anna. I'm based in Denmark, and I'm working in trading, sales particularly, like for the whole my life. I believe almost 20 years soon I will have experience in sales. And around 8 years ago, I opened my first side business, product-based. And that is where I got to know myself. That is where I embark on journey of entrepreneurs and started to learn about personal growth, about social media, everything what is connected with the online service. And after the pandemic, so many ideas, arrived, and I started on a journey of helping other women to open their businesses, to get better in sales, to create marketing strategy, to nail their messaging. So many amazing female entrepreneurs, but who never tried sales before or never run their own business before. So that is where my golden niche is, to help women who just started their business and need help to make their first breakthrough in 5K sales months.
Amazing. Oh my God, that's so powerful. So you've been in sales in corporate for a long time. You've got lots of experience in that sense.
Exactly.
And you've also had your own product-based business, which is so interesting that now you've taken all of those years of knowledge from all these different facets of your life and packaged it into something where you can help women to succeed for themselves. That's amazing.
And of course, I'm a mom. I have 2 amazing children. I have family, as all many other women, juggling during the day so many tasks, taking care of your family, running a business, full-time job. So that is why habits became my essential part of my being.
Yeah, amazing. And I can very much see for myself, from before being a mother to now being a mother, I have had to force myself to have some more habits. And actually, it's not really felt like as much of a chore as I thought it would be. It's really served me well. But you are the queen of habits. I want to know, have you always had really good self-discipline, or is it something that you've had to learn over time?
I mean, no, of course not. I'm not better than everyone else. But when you get children, especially small children, you get to be better in discipline, because you have to take care of other human beings. You still have many tasks to run around you. And my husband, he was away for a long time because of his work. So like for 1.5 months, I was alone with children, working full time, and then later running my side business. So you can imagine how many things you have to do with small children. And I'm immigrant in Denmark. I'm originally from Ukraine, so I don't have any family to help me around. And that is where your habits are coming into the place. I got so good in planning, in really focusing on needle movers, starting at that time, what tasks were important for me to do and what can I wait until next day. And I think that was my first pre-training of how I became queen of habits, queen of planning, because that was my only way how I could run my everyday and take care of my family and show up for my work and for my own business. And that is where it's all started. And then I embark on the entrepreneurial journey, and habits become essential part of start showing up for my business, because that is when you start being consistent and it became your habit. Motivation can come and disappear, but habits, that is what will carry you on a long run. And we are all here for a long run, right?
Yeah. Oh my God. You hit so many interesting points there. The first one that comes to mind is that having children is what gave you that extra special juice in terms of being able to be organized for planning, uh, being able to see things in the future that might need doing, and how much that has helped you in business. That's incredible. And I think that's so universal to so many mums out there.
Yes, because sometimes we can tell stories to ourselves, right? I don't have time now. I'm too busy with my family. But you will never get a good time. You will be always busy with something. Your children, your family, your grandchildren, right? Your friends, your work. There will be always something on your way. And here is where you need to choose what is important for you. Would you like to follow your dreams? Or would you like to regret when you're older and telling the stories to yourself, I was too busy at that time, like blame the circumstances and not getting in charge of what you really want. And that was the choice that I made. I said no to many appointments. I said no to many parties, because here's a decision where you need to use your time wisely. And of course, my family, my children are always on priority. And then my works comes. And here are habits of how you're showing up, when you're showing up, and how often you can do it.
Yeah. And there's just something about having kids that makes you crystal clear about what your priorities are. And
So
I
true.
think that whether you're a mother or not listening to this, you can take from this, because you can learn this now without having children, that prioritizing and getting super, super clear on what's important and drawing that really clear boundary for yourself is only going to help you succeed quicker and just cut out all the noise.
So true, so true. And when we women, we actually do have a superpower, because we know that we have, for example, only 1 hour when our children are going to bed and you need to do something else, or 1 hour between sports activities of your children where you need to focus and you need to make your work done, because otherwise you will not have possibility. And I do believe that we women are so powerful in this. We know what we want, and we are super focused and going all in during this 1 hour, and can do so much more than, for example, you have the whole day and there is no urgency, there is no deadline. And I think that is also where we can benefit from knowing that that is the only time when you can allow yourself to work on your business.
I can relate to that so much. Before I had kids and I was running my business, I was doing it Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, but it wasn't just till 5 because I had all the time in the world. So
Exactly,
I
exactly.
would, yeah, I would just spend so long on things that didn't matter, like what font I should use, and should I use Google Docs or a different thing to collect feedback? How should I word this new lead magnet that I'm putting out there? Whereas now, because I know at 5 o'clock on the 3 days that I work, I've got to go and pick up my son. It's just like, okay, just get it out there. What's valuable? Do it. So
Exactly, exactly. You just go for it. There is no second thoughts, because you know you will not have time. And that is one of the benefits. We need to choose, our thoughts in a more positive way, and allowing ourselves to make it work for us and not against us.
Yeah. And one of my private clients, she was saying that she no longer has time to second guess herself and overthink things in the evening, because it's literally she finishes work, she goes home, picks her kids up, does like all the cooking and whatever to get them ready for the next day, puts them to bed, and then by 9 o'clock she is shattered and she switches off. So having kids has kind of forced her to switch off during the evening so that she's kind of recharged for the next day. So universal for mums out there, I would definitely say.
For sure, for sure.
So you talk about habits a lot. For those of us who aren't super organized or feel like we're not that self-disciplined, can you explain to us why habits are so important?
Of course, because once again it comes when you start running your own business, if you're talking about entrepreneurial journey and how habits can help us, so many challenges arrives on our way. Life gets on our way. Children, families, work, families, activities. You're getting sick. I mean, so many things can happen, right? And there are many days when you feel empowered, excited, and you're ready to go all in. But there are maybe even more days when you feel down, when you don't feel like it is, when you don't see any progress, because it takes time to build your own business. It takes efforts, a lot of courage, a lot of time, a lot of commitment. And when you don't see immediate results, you get immediately discouraged, especially if you are on your own, if nobody holds your hands and keeps you accountable. It's so easy to slide away from your focus, from your goal, from your dreams, because it gets so hard. It is hard to build your own business. There are many bright, shiny moments, but let's be honest, it's not sexy or pretty. Sitting evenings, writing social media content, getting creative, makes the work done. So that is where the habits are coming. You can be motivated, you can be excited, but next day you maybe feel not the same excitement again. And consistency, it's so crucial for building your own business, for building your audience, for building your personal brand. And that is where we need to use our habits. Because when you establish your habit, you're no longer thinking about, shall I do it or shouldn't I do it? You just come to your computer, you take your notes, and you're showing up. And you feel proud of yourself in the end of the day. You might be tired, you might be not feeling good, no motivation at all, but you showed up and you're feeling good afterwards. That is when you need your habits on the days like this.
Mm. Oh my God, like so many golden nuggets just there. And I think the one thing I kind of took away from that was having habits in place that support you on your journey to whatever it is that you want to achieve takes away a layer of decision making, especially on days when you're tired or maybe not feeling that motivated. Instead of thinking, should I, shouldn't I? What do I do next? What is it that I need to do? Your past self has already set this habit up saying, okay, well, here's the plan. Just do this every day or do this every week. Whether you're tired, whether you're not feeling up to it, you don't have to decide anymore. Just do the thing and just keep going.
Exactly. It's like brushing your teeth, right? You are not questioning yourself in the morning. Do I need it or do I want it? You just do it, despite the fact how you feel it. So the same the habit of creating your social media content, of collaborating on podcast, on reaching out to your customers, on sending extra emails. That is a habit of sales. That is a habit of showing up. So this is where consistency comes, and that's what creates compounding effect of you showing up for your business, getting better 1% every day. And can you imagine results that you can get in 1 year if you are showing up consistently every single day, even if you have only 1 hour after your work, but your focus consistent no matter what? I mean, you are already running an amazing business in 1 year.
Yeah, and this comes back to a conversation I was having within our Overflow Collective call last week. So one of the members was asking me, "Oh, Tiffany, I saw one of your LinkedIn posts the other day. It got lots of engagement. How have you now got to a point where you get loads of engagement on your posts?" And I said, there's probably two factors to this. One is experience. Over the 4 years I've had my business, I've learned what types of hooks kind of get people to keep reading. But also, second is just that I know that people are reading whether they are engaging or not. So that engagement or number of likes doesn't really matter to me. What happened was, in the first year of me posting on LinkedIn, I basically got not much engagement at all. No one really commenting, maybe a couple of likes here and there, but I just kept going. It was a habit that I created. Even though I wasn't getting any external feedback, I just kept doing it. And I was like, is anyone even reading these? I don't know what's going on. And the year later is when I started to attract a load of private clients. They came to me saying, "I'm ready to work with you. I've been following all your LinkedIn posts over the last year." And I'm like, why didn't you like them for me?
I mean, you see how amazing is this? So funny you saying it because I also just switched on LinkedIn and start showing up consistently, making it a habit every morning, engage with the audience and post before my work. And I know not many likes, not many engagement, but I even don't think about it because that is not my focus. My focus is to get the identity of me being consistent with my social media content, especially on LinkedIn right
Yeah.
now. And that is when the opportunity comes your way. That is when, and by the way, good what you said, everyone are watching. Everyone are watching, despite the fact that they don't like or comment on your post. I know everyone are watching. I suddenly got invitation to participate in local network event. I suddenly got other calls and messages. Nobody commented it, especially on LinkedIn. Everyone wants to stay,
Yeah.
undercover. And it's so funny because that is where you open the window of opportunity, whether it's LinkedIn or Instagram or any other platform you choose to be active when you start your business.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess it's about being as disciplined as you can be, yet still allowing yourself that kindness for those days when you really can't, or you're just really tired, or you're ill. What would you say about habits on those days when you're feeling kind of low energy?
I mean, we are not robots. Of course,
Mm,
there are days when we cannot show up, right?
good point.
We're just humans. And that is what I learned myself in a hard way. I used to feel so bad, making a bad talk with myself of saying, oh my God, you didn't post again, you didn't show up. So I dropped this because this negative self-talk is not a good way to carry on the long run. It creates a bad energy for you to start showing up, and your body does not feel good. So
Mm,
the main principles of habits, as you may know, it's making triggers to show up for it and make it enjoyable. Every time I celebrate when I showed up on social media, when I accomplished this small task, I congratulate myself. It's like, making a high five and saying, oh my God, you did so good today. Congratulations. And body feels so good. Your body and mind start feeling so good because you have these happy hormones, because you're happy you accomplished the task that you did. Versus when you start talking bad and you giving this feeling of guilt. So you're
mm,
not feeling good. So important when you establish these habits, it's feeling good and congratulate yourself that you showed up, you did a small step, you showed up for your business, you showed up for yourself. Acknowledge it, make it feel good in your body, in your mind. And on the day when I'm not showing up, it's okay. I know those days are coming, but then I'm showing up next time. Here it's very important, not miss twice. I got very inspired by the book Atomic Habits. You might be known it.
Love
And
that book. Changed my
yes,
life.
yes, exactly. The same here. It's when I read the book, it's actually became so clear for me. We all need celebration of showing up for ourselves
Mm.
and drop this negative self-talk of feeling guilty. Enjoy this weekend with my family and not feeling guilty of not working on my business, right? Because we all need days to relax, to recharge. And then I'm coming back on Monday. So you missed once, it's okay. You will show up next time. And that is how it works.
Yeah, for sure. So, I'm always talking about this with my clients as well. And I can see that you've got exactly the same notion, which is habits are there to help you and to guide you towards what is going to make you feel good about yourself, rather
Exactly.
than using habits as a stick to beat yourself with when you haven't kept to them.
Exactly, exactly. I mean, we need to drop this negative self-talk and start talk with ourselves as with our best friends.
Mm.
When I got aware of my thoughts, I said to myself, "You're worse than your own enemy because you never talk with other people in the way how I talk with myself, right?"
Yeah.
And that is where it's so important to get aware of what you're actually thinking and how you talk with yourself. And when I make this twist and shift the way how I started to think, how I'm feeling, it helps me much better to carry on with my habits because it makes me feel good. Even if I don't like it, it's like going to the gym. Nobody wants to exercise. Nobody wants this hard training, but we do like how it feels afterwards. We do love our strong, beautiful body after we exercise on a regular basis. So it's the same.
Yeah. And I can see how having healthy habits is a real way of showing yourself self love, because you know that by doing this thing on a regular basis, you will end up feeling good about yourself. You will end up growing confidence because you have built a skill or you've built a following. And you'll know that you can trust yourself to do anything because over the past year, you've posted consistently on LinkedIn, or over the past year, you have done exercise at least once a week or twice a week. So I love
So true.
that habits are there to help you feel good rather than make you feel bad when you don't do them.
Exactly. A very good point to remember, Tiffany. Thank you to point it out because we are here to create a good life, not a punishment life. So important to remember when you implement your habits.
Mm. So with people who you've worked with, and I guess there are probably people who come to you because they know they need better habits or they know they need help with accountability with sticking to habits. Is it really possible for someone who feels they're not organized and not disciplined to stick to regular habits? Like, is that possible? Is it harder for them? What would your advice be for those people?
Well, for sure. I mean, everyone can make a habit. We all have habits, whether
Mm.
it's good or whether it's bad.
Good
So,
point. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, our life consists of habits. Our habitual behavior is the way how we think, the way how we behave. So here's your decision comes. Would you like to carry on with your habits and continue the same life? Because what you do now, exactly what you will get in several years. If you're exercising regularly, you will get a strong body. If you're lying on a couch and eating unhealthy food, you know what kind of body and health you will get in 1 or 2 years, right? Because it's compounding effect. So we all have our habits. So women who comes to me in the beginning of their journey, they really struggle with overwhelming, with a long to-do list, not knowing where to focus, what are the needle movers, and very often they ended up of not focusing on the important task, not moving this important areas in their business. Many of them struggled with accountability because they're alone. Because when you build a new habit, what you need community, you need accountability, you need celebration. And we always start small. And when you have this accountability, the power of accountability is incredible, because you have somebody who can hold your hand, especially when you pay money for it, because you have to show up for yourself, because you paid, you force yourself.
Yeah.
You can't just, ignore or escape. And that is a good way of get this accountability when you're just starting. So for women who come to me, I always advise, start small. We are starting small. Show up today. We are going to make it better in 1 week, in 2 weeks. And we are starting to celebrate. I had amazing clients who really struggled to show up on Instagram, making live stories. She ended up making lectures in the university. And
Oh
it
my
wasn't.
goodness.
Yes, because we really started small by making a system how she will show up on Instagram, for example, starting with stories, making small videos every day, and then you build on it. And she ended up making a guest lectures on the university with a big auditorium, and that was incredible. She was so powerful, and she didn't question any longer, can I do it, how shall I do it? I mean, she just showed up, and it's no brainer anymore. It became her identity, and it comes with everything. You start small, you build up, you celebrate, you acknowledge your wins, and it's all about repetition. The same as you mentioned on LinkedIn, you got better, you found out what are the hook, what attracts your customers, you posted consistently every year, and that is where you created new results in 1 year, because you were consistent. You created a great compounding effect in your business by showing up every single week on LinkedIn. So the same goes to sending emails to your customers. That's what generates sales, because you nurture them, you establish trust, you build your personal brand. Every week they get to know you better and better. Sooner or later they will buy from you, because they know you. They know who is Tiffany, how good she is in helping people solving their problems, and there is no doubts any longer about your authority. And that's what creates compounding effect in your business when you show up consistently.
Yeah, for sure. And I guess in terms of showing up consistently, when you're selling something online, either through Instagram or your newsletters or whatever, there's an element of luck, isn't there? You know, you can't control, okay, if I send this sequence of emails, X number of people will definitely buy. There's probably some stats out there, but you don't know exactly what's going to happen with your audience. But the thing is for you to make your luck, to show up when they are ready to buy. So just say you stop showing up and suddenly someone who's followed you for the past year now wants to buy something that you can help them with. If you're not there reminding them that you are there, then that luck is not going to come your way. So there's an element of you controlling what you can, and that is, for example, showing up on social media.
Of course, because we can't control decision of our customers, as you said. We can't control the outcome, but what we can control is the inputs that we are making. How many emails we are sending, how many posts are we going to make, how many conversations, engagement we are going to do. This I can control, and I want to make sure that I did everything I could to sell my offer, because I know how good is it. I know how it can solve others women problems. So I make sure I did everything what I could in order to make sales. And the same advice to my customers: don't think about outcome, but focus on the actions that you can do, because so often we are attached to the outcome. Oh, I hope this post will convert. Oh, I hope this email will make a sale. Oh, I hope this call will make, this discovery call will make my customer a pay customer. I mean, that is where I see the biggest mistake. We are attaching us to the outcome, get so obsessed, on the results. Instead, we need to focus on what actions can we do and make it playful, fun. because it's fun to build your own business. You are a creator. You can do it wherever you think it shall look like, and you can decide with whom you can work, what kind of offers you can break. So remember to enjoy your journey and not make it hard and being obsessed with the results.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And in terms of making it more fun, for habits, for those who find it difficult to stick to habits, or they've been telling themselves this story that they're not good at sticking to habits, it's really hard for them, how can they make it more fun? I know you spoke about having accountability and, you know, sometimes working with someone who you've paid to keep you accountable. Just like the many times I've joined the gym, and the only reason I went was because I was like, well, I paid £30 a month for this gym, I better
Exactly.
go.
Exactly. See?
So aside from accountability, what else can we do to make habits more fun, or how do you help your clients make it more fun?
It's always fun to see a progress, because when we see progress, we want to do more. We want to
Mm.
show up again. So what I always do with my habits and advice to my customers is to make it visible. So I'm making a big list of paper and printing out the calendar of the months. And every day I put a mark that I did it, because you create a habit when you show up, and repetition. Every time I put a mark, I feel so proud of myself. I did it. I didn't want it. I didn't have any energy, but I showed up anyway. How amazing am I? I feel so proud of myself. And then in the end of the month, when you see how many times you showed up, it makes you feel so good about yourself. If you feel like you're the champion of the world, you didn't want to, but you did it. You wake up 5 a.m. in the morning, you made your exercise, you made your meditation, you sent this email. I feel like I'm ready, to conquer the world, because I did it already. And this is the momentum that you're carrying on in your business. You start to be happy how you showed up. You keep this energy. You start showing up from the different place when you see the progress that you're making, especially when it's visual to you. I always have this big paper. When I started my LinkedIn, I made the mark on every day. I had this target of 100 days of showing up on LinkedIn. And it made me happy to see the progress. I didn't give up. I did 20 days, 30 days, and that's what makes us stronger and fun to see it and make it as a game. And I always celebrate it in the end of the week. I bought myself a delicious cafe latte in my favorite cafe, and celebrated, acknowledged the fact that I showed up for my habits for the whole week today. And I felt good about myself.
Yeah, I love that. So you're gamifying the whole experience, especially for habits you may have found difficult at the start, making it a game, making it really visual. And I guess even the action of crossing off each day must feel like a little celebration in itself.
Oh my God, you can't believe how good it feels to put this mark. Because we always lack of time or energy or tired, and when I did, I just, yes, it's like
Yeah.
getting a golden medal, and you feel like, you're just smiling inside out, and I can't express the feeling. So I hope all our listeners can experience this and try, because you start feeling so good about yourself, and you start showing up from the different energy for yourself, for your business.
Oh, amazing. That's such a good tip. Gamify it, make it visual, make it fun, and celebrate. So many good tips there.
Yes.
So, you specifically help women who want to scale their side businesses. And I guess it's a bit of a different vibe to if you are all in on your business. So, what are the specific challenges for women who are growing a side business? Like, what are the challenges that they face that you see come up most often?
Yes, what I see many women struggle are, of course, first of all, time, a lack of time, and that is where very important to focus on needle movers, which tasks are important and which are nice to have. depending on the goals, on the times that they have, it's very important to identify where to focus, or how to use your time strategically. And when it comes to building your business foundation, I see very often women don't make their ideal customer clear. They think they know to whom they sell. But then when we start to dive in, so is it a woman who has children or a woman who struggles with that and that? So many points to think about who is your ideal customer. Because when you have your business foundation in place, such as your ideal customer, your niche, I'm not talking about demographic or geographic, but your niche of which problem do you solve? So that is your niche. The problem that you're solving is your niche. But now you need to know who has this problem. And that is where I'm helping them to narrow down their niche, knowing who is their customer, to clear their message, start making their customer exciting about their offers, because they need to know what their customers dream about, what they want. So instead of pointing out on the pain points every time and not making them excited, we start to twist offers from the excitement. We start to sell dreams. We all want to travel to Maldives, but nobody wants to pay expensive tickets and travel to days, right? We all want to enjoy holidays. So I always encourage my customer to go through the messages and make sure their offers and messaging corresponds with what their customer wants and dreams. And how to find out is through the marketing research, is to get in touch with your customers, ask them what they really want, and then you can give them what they really need, because you are the expert. You know what they need to get to their dreams. Because I even might not know that I need to make that and that to get to my dream destination, because I'm not the expert. But this is where we come into the picture. We are the experts, and we can see the gray areas our customers need. So here where I see most of my customers are struggling in the beginning of their journey, to make their messaging exciting, to make them resonate with customers' dreams, to make marketing research calls to find out who is their ideal customer, to identify the niche of their problem, and make a system of how they are going to build their business in a long run. What is the content strategy? How are they going to post? How are they going to sell their offers? How are they going to build their personal brand? Because personal brand creates sales in our business. So those are the foundations of the business. When you just start your journey, it's so important to build it. It's like a house. It takes a long time to build the foundation before you see the walls, before you see the building.
Yeah.
So that is where I see my work is foundational, to create a good foundation for them to grow their business, to reach 5K sales months, to go to 10K sales months, wherever they think fits to their lifestyle that they would like to create.
Yeah, and those foundations are important for everyone, but especially important if you have a side business, because you don't have time to mess around. You don't have
So true.
time to be writing LinkedIn posts or social media posts that are not hitting the mark. You want to make sure that your time is spent very intentionally. You're hitting the right people and you're hitting the right points as to what those people want. So what would you say to those who are just starting out? They haven't quite figured out their niche yet, so they don't even know who to ask in terms of market research. Where would you start in that sense?
Well, I know it's always challenging with the marketing research. And here we are coming. What is your expertise? What is one area that you can help? Is it sales? Is it social media, for example? Or is it, I had many customers from health sector, like yoga teaching, like life coaching, helping women with anxiety and stress. So here it comes. to find your ideal customers. Where are they? You can find many resources on Facebook groups. There are so many Facebook groups where you can join, and people are there to collaborate. People are there to help you, to support you. And by the way, when I conducted my first marketing research through the Facebook groups, that is when I converted them to my first customers, because I knew their problems, I knew their struggles, I knew their dreams, and I knew I could help them. In the end, I offered them a solution to their problems, because you know what they're struggling with and you know your expertise. And that is when you can make the offer that your customer actually needs. So instead of guessing behind your computer screen, behind your phone, and creating social media content, get out there, get in touch with your real customer, ask them what's the dream about, what they're struggling, and see how you can help them, how you can find this sweet spot of your expertise and the problems that your customer are facing. That is where I would advise them to start with the marketing research for sure. It always helps to create connections, to talk with your potential customer, because you get to know what are they living with, problems, dreams, struggles, what they already tried, what worked, what didn't. It helps so much when you just start on your journey.
Yeah, that really resonates with me and the start of my journey. So when I first started my business, I was doing career coaching for women in tech and engineering mainly.
See, you had very niche, narrow niche.
Well, I
You
hadn't
you
actually,
need exactly
yeah.
whom to target.
So that was quite niche already, and I thought I had hit it, but actually I hadn't gotten far enough. So I started guessing what people would want from me. And one of the things that I started guessing and offering out into the world was, okay, lots of people don't know how, like, they can't find a job in tech at the moment. The market's really difficult. I'm going to make a whole course full of information on how to land a job. And I launched this course. I put so much time and effort into it, but no one bought it. And that was
Mm.
really heartbreaking, but also it was a really important lesson for me to learn, which was, yes, people had this problem, but they weren't necessarily willing to pay for it, especially if they were out of a job. They didn't want to pay for advice like this. So that was one thing. The second thing that I went into was, oh, there's lots of male dominated companies like tech and engineering companies who want to attract more women. So I'm going to go in and tell them what they need to do. What do they need to change to help attract more female candidates into their roles? But I wasn't an expert in diversity and inclusion. There are people who study that stuff and they are consultants in it. And it wasn't really something that I enjoyed doing. So I had the opposite problem. People were willing to pay for this, but I didn't deep down really want to do it. So there's always a sweet spot, as you said, as to your expertise, what you enjoy helping people with, and what people will want to work with you for, what people want to pay for as well.
Exactly. But see, again, you went out there, you talked with people, you tried, and then you found something that match your expertise. You found something that people really needed. So you never find out if you never try. So we need to try several times, to launch several times, maybe twist the message. Sometimes the offer is good enough, but the message that you are sending over there, it's not resonating because it's not what our customer wants to hear. So many different aspects can influence on this decision, but important point, as you said, to get in touch, to find out where you can be helpful and who actually can pay for your service, because we do need to earn money to pay our bills. And when you are abundant and wealthy, you can help so many people. And there is nothing wrong to grow your business and charge your prices that you're putting out there.
Yeah, so there's definitely an element of yes, deciding what niche you want to hit, but then just putting something out there, testing the market and seeing what comes back. What is the feedback like that comes back? Who is actually asking you questions? What are they asking you? But without putting something out there, like you were saying, you'll never learn.
So true. And so important, not give up after first fail, right? Can you imagine if you could be discouraged after your first launch and said, oh my God, this part is not for me. And you would be back to somewhere where you were not happy. You kept going, you kept trying. And maybe from second or third time, you found out what was it that really matched your expertise, that you can sell and can help others to solve their problems. And it's not necessarily succeeded from the first time. Important to remember to all our listeners that you need to experiment. We learn from our failures. As much mistake we do, the better we become. So every time you fail, every time you get no, it's like one more step closer to a big yes, to a big sale. So don't give up after first failure.
That is definitely the motivational speech we all needed to
Yeah,
hear.
yeah, we all need to
Absolutely.
hear.
Now, I want to ask you, and I didn't email you this question, so I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit here. I want to ask you, what is your version of unconventional success that you are either striving towards or you are living right now? So what is your version of success that other people might think, oh, but it's what she doesn't want 5K months, but she wants something else. Like what is that for you?
Well, we're all different, as you said, and I think women, they really value their freedom because they want to be with their families. They want to be in charge of their day. They want to decide on which vacations they would like to go. So for me, unconditional success is really to be in charge of my life and decide how I'm going to spend my life, my time. And also, when you start helping people and you see how your service helps them in their struggles, you get addicted to this happiness because you can see how your service really helps people. I would never thought about this, to be honest, because when I was in sales for all those years in corporate, I mean, you all focus on budget, on, targeting your sales, making money to the company. You can't really see that you help somebody. But when I first started to coach women and, I could see that I help one, two, three, and I could see sincerely their happiness and how they made their first breakthrough. This happiness that I'm getting in my mind, in my body, it's unbelievable. I would never thought that this can bring so much joy to me personally. Because when we start our business, we think about freedom, money, extra joy that can bring, extra shiny objects that we might buy. But then when you really touch it deeper, you see how you change the life. You get addicted to this feeling of helping others. I would never expect this, to be honest. This wasn't in my first place. But after I experienced it, I can't imagine my life without this feeling any longer.
Yeah, oh, that's so heartwarming to hear that it's not just about the freedom of choice as to how you want to spend your life and your time and your money, but also it is being able to like having that opportunity to help someone and seeing someone's transformation and knowing that you have helped to change that person's life for good. That's amazing.
I can't believe I'm saying it because I would never expect it. When I started this journey, I didn't think about it. But then when you're going deeper, you really see how you can help and make a change. And it's more than money, because money, it's nice to have, really nice. Money gives you freedom. Money gives you flexibility. Many people say money will not make you happy. But then there is a discussion. Then you didn't have enough, because the more you have, the more you can help. The more money I have, the more freedom I can create to other women, the more change I can make out there. And that is like a sweet balance. The more you give, the more you receive.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. Oh, and what a compelling way to finish off our discussion today. If there is someone here listening who really wants to work with someone like you who is so passionate about making the change, and that's actually your main driver for running your business, how can people find out more about how to work with you?
Yes, well, I'm on Instagram. I will send you all my information. And then I have a homepage, annachristiansen.co. You can find about my programs over there. I also have LinkedIn profile where I'm showing up consistently right now and building my personal brand. So if you are excited to see, hop on my journey and see how it's going. I will introduce you to everything what I'm there. Also, I'm launching my 1 hour power call at the moment, because very often we are so close to our business that we can't see this very small shift, twist that you're missing, this one puzzle that you're missing in a big picture to make it all work. And you can book your 1 hour power call. Price in September, your investment is only 150 euros. It will go up later this year, but I wanted to introduce it as a starter for our audience. Then I also have 12 weeks coaching program where we focus on accountability, moving the needle movers in your business, assessing your goals, evaluating how we come closer, what we need to change, to shift in your strategy, in your habits, to make these needle movers to achieve your goals.
Amazing. So something for everybody there. I will link to all of those in the show notes. And I would say if anyone wants to do a 1 hour power call, get in quick as soon as this episode comes out, because I guess I don't know how long this discounted rate is going to go on for. Thank you so much for sharing everything that you have today. I've really enjoyed this conversation. Is there anything that we didn't talk about that you think, okay, I need to leave the audience with this one thought?
I just want to leave the audience with the assurance of everything what they dream about is possible, and start believing in ourselves. Because if you don't believe you can get over there where you would like to be, who else can believe? When we start to believe in our dreams that we can do it, everyone else start embarking on your journey. So start believing from yourself. You don't need approval from anybody else. Just focus on your goal, on your dream. Create habits that can support it to show up consistently. Remember, it takes time. Show up today. Don't give up. Today, tomorrow will be another day, and you will think about it again. Just show up today and make a small step towards your dream. And in 1 year, you will be so much closer to it.
Yeah, I love that. So if anyone listening is having trouble believing in themselves and doesn't know where to start, Anna and I are always on Instagram here to support you and help you. Send either of us or both of us a DM, and we would love to help you on that journey. Thank you so much, Anna.
Thank you so much, Tiffany, for inviting me to spreading the message about our work. It was such a pleasure to talk with you. Thank you.
My pleasure. Bye.
Bye.
I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, I'd be so grateful if you could help me spread the word that this podcast is here to help other female solopreneurs just like you. Please give this podcast show a rating and review wherever you listen to podcasts, and subscribe if you'd like to see when future episodes come out. If you have any questions about the topic spoken about today, I'm always happy to answer your questions. Come and find me over on Instagram at @TiffanyDawson_ and shoot me a DM. I'd love to help. Until next time, take care.